Hang on, let me see.
Some more water.
Yeah, go ahead, fam. I mean, we live, but it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna go ahead and drop that link, and I'm gonna go ahead and tag you in it,
Yeah, let's go.
and see, we're gonna go with it, man. So uh, they should be able to rock with that link. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So anyway, let's get back to what you was just saying a second ago, man, because that was kind of hot, but we weren't live. She was talking about a conversation you had.
Yeah, so I was having a conversation with one of my homegirls last night, and it initially started, with her just kind of expressing her desires to, build a relationship with someone that is going to have her make her fulfilled. You know what I mean? And so, my response and my counsel was that, you know, it's impossible to build a healthy relationship on shaky grounds. Meaning,
100%.
have you fully transitioned out of your past relationship and healed from that, and then built a proper, healthy platonic relationship with, just other people or another male. And I just that right there was the conversation. We were, the point was that a lot of times we don't really transition out of relationships properly and heal, and then identify exactly what we need, and then build a friendship before you even explore the idea of having an intimate relationship. You know, and she was receptive to it. It wasn't that she wasn't receptive. It got more specific to her situation. So that I won't mention her
Right, right.
situation, but I'm saying that it was, I was able to relate to it because I'm saying, even my in my relationship, I was telling her that it was way more difficult to get to a healthy space because we bypassed the friendship. We could have easily been friends, and all it really takes is discipline and transparency, and to remove the expectations. And I think that's the hardest part for people because, you know, sometimes you have a platonic friendship with a person and you transparent with your situation, and then when you transition out of that, your past situation, then the expectation is that, okay, it's time for y'all to build something that's intimate, and that may not be in the cards for y'all. It may not be the season for that. It would be wise to maintain a consistent platonic relationship, a real friendship, and just see and just let the universe kind of have its way first. You know what I'm saying? I just think that because I tell you what, I've seen a lot of people who I was like, you just had a child, right? And you out of this relationship with the child's father, and then maybe a year later you already pregnant with somebody else's baby.
Man,
You know what I'm saying?
man, I
Or
know a whole bunch of
or
them.
or do you know what I mean? Even
Right.
men, it's like, I don't understand how you, like, you have, if you got multiple people pregnant at the same time, and man,
Fam,
that's crazy. Like, it's like, you
that is.
it's some of the most unhealthiest shit ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't even give yourself or the
Oh,
child
yeah.
a chance.
Not at all.
Like, so, but it's the responsibility of both parties, is what I'm saying. Like, it's as adults, we need to be better at drawing the lines, being disciplined, being healed, being a whole person, whole people before we even talk about entering relationships, and then being better at vetting the individuals that might be potential partners.
Well, I mean, I can roll with the two people situation in certain aspects. Well, I had a homie had a baby, had two babies. Bro, they was at the same hospital at the same time, right? He said, man, the doctor, he was in the delivery room one day, right, for the baby, and the next day he was in a different delivery room, and he said, man, the doctor just looked at him and shook his head like, damn, bro, right? He ain't finna snitch, but it wasn't like there was no snitch.
Oh,
They knew,
okay,
right?
okay,
Right? It wasn't no snitching about it, right?
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
that's that one. I don't. I mean, to a certain extent, I put some blame on the chick, but bro, two at the same time, you was shit. They didn't have a chance to find out about each other. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying? 'Cause
well, but is see, I'm gonna, I place the blame of leadership or lack thereof, or lack of discipline on the man. But I'm saying that, hey, I know people lie. People lie all the time.
You ain't got to
But
hit raw though. Shit.
I'm saying that if you require a certain type of commitment, now for infidelity is one thing, you know what I mean,
Right.
like that happens. But I'm saying that I don't know many cases, if any at all, where the requirement was marriage. You know what I mean, and
Right.
a full blown commitment to where you have a chance to be immersed in this person's life, and you can pick up on the habits or give the situation the chance for the things that's going on in the dark to come to the light. You know what I mean? I know it happens, but I'm saying I don't know too many situations where it was built on that premise. So I'm saying that
I'm
as a
with you.
woman, all you got to do is if every woman just decided that I'm going to require a real commitment prior to me even giving you access to me, you would like,
Yeah.
where's the
Them days
choice at?
gone, bro. I mean, that's the shit that I grew up with and you grew up with. Them days, unfortunately, are long gone. I do remember when you had to put in work to get some ass. Right? It was a requirement. And I judge me or not, I feel like men are safe auto. We're gonna do the bare minimum to get by. Right? We're gonna do the bare minimum to get a woman. Right? The bare minimum used to just be high as hell, considering where we at right now. Right. So I'm with you on that one, man. But that is a thing that I think we and again, I'm traditional in the aspect of men lead, fathers teach their daughters, teach their sons, right? Because you can't expect kids to grow up without leadership and know what's right and what's wrong. But we got to teach our motherfucking kids, sons and daughters, that man, listen, we're not even saying don't have sex. That's unrealistic because our parents told us not to have sex and we did it anyway, right? Here's the
Yeah,
healthy.
I don't think it's unrealistic. I just think that we have lost our way culturally in terms of how we prioritize that. Like it's not. Look, I've had periods in my life where I naturally didn't engage in sex, and it wasn't even on purpose. It was just because of how I was moving, whether I was too busy, the things I had going on, just whatever the circumstances was. It wasn't that hard. You know what I mean? Like it's actually as
A
a
good
as a
discipline.
as
I
a
mean,
man, you gotta well in when I was a young man, it's like you had to pursue it. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right. That's what I'm saying. It's gone, bro. Like legit. You can. I've seen dudes post, "Hey man, who trying to chill tonight?" Right, and chicks in the comments. Right, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Like,
don't like if you gonna shake. I mean, if you gonna literally go ahead, like, okay, right now, this is what I want. I do want to address this. I've been seeing it, and I was gonna post about it, but I've been busy. You know what I'm saying? But I think this is an opportunity to address it. So right now, they always got this some kind of ass shaking trend,
yes,
going
sir.
on. So I guess this is supposed to be the. I don't even want to say her name because I don't even want to give people pub, but it's supposed to be a certain
Excuse me.
artist challenge, right? Where they actually once again shaking their ass
This ain't the
on
ceiling challenge with the phone on the ceiling. It's a
yeah,
different one.
it's a different angle, right? Well, whatever. But my thing is, I've seen women criticize it, right?
That's good.
Right, but then I've seen some men criticize it, right? But then I've seen an abundance of men come back and combat that, and try to assert that the men that are against it, how they try to go with the
Hit him with a
question,
simp. You
yeah,
know what I'm
question
saying,
your sexuality, shit like that,
bro?
right?
That shit crazy.
And my thing is like, I don't understand how, and these are my peers,
Right, right,
and it's like, yeah, I'm a man, like we all men, and we all are, well, my peers are heterosexual, right?
right, right.
I get that, right? But I'm saying that it's the difference between being heterosexual and hypersexual. And at this point in my life, it is a complete turnoff, and honestly, it's disgusting to me when I see women doing that. It's actually sad.
So you touch on a good point there, right? I feel the same way, but I think the reason that we look at it differently is because we've always had access to women. When you don't have access to women,
But
a lot of
bro,
a lot of dudes just like anything they can get.
you
That's
right, you right. But I'm saying I've seen specific peers who I know just either they haven't been married. You know what I'm saying?
do
Or
they value women? Because I've been seeing that shit floating around. Like, does a woman have value? Does a man have value? Type shit. And I'm like,
I can't speak to that. All I'm saying is that it's the standards of what it's the standard. Like the standard is that as a man, we just should enjoy seeing ass shaking all over the internet. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And
it's
for me, it's like if you, yeah, as a man, you see it, you gonna look. But I mean, I can 100% do without. Like
Right. I'm with you on that.
I can do without this shit. I just it's sad because it reinforces our problem in our community. We can't build healthy families if we are hypersexual. We can't do that.
No, you're right, man. And it's, I think men are promoting it. If we didn't promote, if we didn't like it, it wouldn't happen. I'm gonna keep it all the way real. A lot of women say we don't do this for men, we do this for women. Bullshit. If we wasn't the ones liking that shit and commenting on it, it would die.
But
100%.
but yeah, so here's the but I mean when you got men who are speaking out on it, they are attacked. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
You get attacked from both sides. You get attacked from the other men
yeah,
who want to
right.
see it, right?
Yes.
And then you
Yeah.
get attacked from the women who, even some of the women that don't do it. Like, and I think I touched on it before. There was a chick like, I support all women no matter what. I'm like, that's crazy, right? I would know. I'm like, that's like me supporting, you know what I'm saying, King Von because he's a man. Like, bro, dude,
Right.
right? I'm like,
No.
serial killer. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. That's
Um,
just the reality of it.
you don't support somebody just because they look like you or they're the same gender as you or whatever the case may be. You support people because they're doing whatever it is that you support, right? I'm not going to throw my support behind somebody that is doing something I don't vibe with or rock with. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I never looked at that shit on the internet either. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be a saint,
But that I don't think that's not the answer. Like if you gonna see what you gonna see.
right?
I'm saying somebody I didn't now because if I as a man if I want to see this then I can just go to a porn site. You know what I mean? If it's
Man, or a strip club or whatever else you
yeah,
want to, what
I
else you want to
mean
do,
whatever. I'm not here to even judge that part of it. But I'm just saying that if these are women with children as well.
right?
You know what
So
I mean?
yeah, I posted something about that the other day. I'm like, listen. There are a lot of sexy, beautiful women out here. Putting it all on the internet is not going to get you the dude you want to have. You don't want that shit, right? I asked one of my Facebook friends one time. I'm like, man, why are you post all this sexy shit, all this, you know what I'm saying, this risque shit, and you have all these dudes. You talk about how you can't find a man. You got all these dudes commenting under there, but you ain't acknowledging none of them. She said flat out, it's because the person I want to see it hasn't responded. I'm like, the person you want to see it ain't into that shit, right? Send that man a direct message, right? We
Yeah.
don't read mine,
You know
right?
what's
And again, I'm
crazy?
not just blaming women because, like I said, we feed that shit, right? We feed into that shit, and don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I'm a saint. I don't. I've been if I want to go see that, I'm going to somewhere to see that, right? That's not the shit I want to see on the internet, but I think it's the algorithm, right? If we see that shit once or twice, then it's gonna show up more.
That's why it's crazy that when you talk about certain things, I just think it's very telling that you talk about certain things or certain groups of people or certain issues in certain cultures, then they'll ban you, right? But then the internet will protect hypersexuality all across the internet, uh, specifically or particularly from our culture. It seems like,
Can I tell you why I believe that is?
yeah,
I believe it's because we don't care, right? So I have this conversation with, and I say we don't care collectively,
yeah, collectively, you're right. I
right?
agree.
I want to clarify. I have this conversation with one of my guys. Man, you would never see no. He's like Asian chicks. You would never see no. And I said because the culture's not accepting it. We're looking at what we see on the internet like it's only on the internet. The internet is where it's at right now, but I mean, it's
It's
real at
been
the
it's
gas
been in
station,
our
bro.
it's been in our music for years.
Man, and music. I remember going past the gas station on what was that Olive and Roger Street one night, bro. It was probably 2:30 in the morning. I ain't had no business doing that shit. I'm going past. It's a twerk fest. They own cars. I'm
But
just
they've
like,
been
God,
doing that. Remember,
right? That's what I'm saying.
always open you know what I
Right.
mean?
It's on the internet
Yeah,
now, but
yeah, yeah,
that's not where it originated.
yeah.
So we don't. It's hard to have somebody else, especially people that rake in the money off of it, because it's gonna sound fucked up, but we like cattle, bro. We are what generates the income, right? We are not benefiting from all the crazy shit we doing. And so why would society as a whole care more about us as a collective than we do?
Yeah, you're
You
right
know what I'm
about
saying?
that.
It's like
You're right about that.
it's a hard sell, right? Like we want to fight for shit that we do. Bro, don't even get me started. I was thinking about the conversation we had about wanting to be a victim. So in Chicago, and I want to get your thoughts on this. There was a young man, 26, got shot by the police 96 times. They shot at him 96 times. The issue that everybody seems to have is the last three shots. They were like, those were uncalled for. He was already on the ground outside the car. People up in arms, right? There was a 4-year-old boy in Chicago, Humboldt Park, got shot, I think in his drive-by in critical condition. Nobody's up in arms about it. And the difference is the shooter, and this is my opinion, is what the difference is. The shooter was of the same hue as the boy, right? Whereas the officers were of different hue, right? But bro shot at the police first. Once you shoot at the police, cause it's a
Oh, so
wrap.
he actually did shoot at the police?
Right, he shot at the police. They pulled him over, and it was some bullshit to pull him over. But bro dumped first. Once you open up, I mean, I don't
So
know
he
about
was
you, but I
he
know
was
what
the
happened.
initial shooter.
Yes, he was the initial shooter on video. It's there's no
Okay.
misunderstanding. They're
Well
not
then,
they
well then I
they're
don't care.
right. But what I'm
I
saying
don't
is
care.
we are up in our. That's what I said as soon as I see this shit. I'm like, man, we arguing about the wrong shit again,
Nah, yeah,
right?
I don't care. I do. Here's the thing. The other side of it is this. I do have a higher expectation for those who are hired to protect and serve us. Like I do have a higher standard of conduct for them, right? But I'm
100%,
saying I want everybody knows you don't shoot at the police.
man. And they deep, right? And it wasn't even,
Even
and
if
that's what
it's
the
just one of them, I'm saying
right.
don't.
It's
I
stupid because
come on,
you
man.
don't practice, they do,
Right?
right?
But
You know
but
what I'm
uh,
saying?
but
It's a dumb idea anyway.
yeah, but if we just examine this at the origin though, it's like either we care or we don't. If we really care, we would not tolerate the shit that's all in our music. We wouldn't tolerate the shit that go on all across social media that reflects us as a culture. We wouldn't. We would just be more. I don't have more integrity.
I catch hell because I have not watched one episode of Power or none of that type shit. Because I'm like, bro, I don't watch any show that shows us in a negative light. There's way too music. I listen to some shit. It's me and the music. I'm supporting it. So I'm not perfect, right? I listen to some fuck shit on the Spotify and this and that. But I don't support the TV shows, bro. I don't support the things that show us in a negative light because I just feel like, man, we got enough problems. So I don't. I'm weird in that way, but I'm like, man, I can't. I can go outside and see drug dealers and motherfuckers shooting. Like, we don't need to continue to promote that shit on TV at a bare minimum. I mean, I understand the artists and
Yeah,
the musicians and the
but
actors and shit, but I
But
just
even with that, it's different, right? Like I'm saying, there is a very clear line between music, like quality street music, versus the shit that is clearly an agenda. You know what I mean? Like if you telling the real story, the reality, like we could just use Tupac as an example,
okay.
right? Right? Like
That's a
it,
documentary.
it,
That's different.
yeah, but I'm saying that there were artists that from that era or similar to him that told the stories of their life, like what they seen. But you had a very broad palette. It wasn't so concentrated on the sex and the violence. You know what I mean? Yes, sex and violence and money is a part
It's
of
a part
all
of it.
cultures, right? It's a part
Yeah.
of all cultures. But I'm saying our music is drenched with hypersexuality and then glorifying because I'm okay with like when you if you got a so-called black artist talking about his path in terms of what he had if he had to sell drugs or whatever he had to do to survive, I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? Because that's the
That's
storyline, right?
right.
That can be inspirational.
Right.
Now, because it shows growth, you know what I mean? But
100%.
if that's what you're using to sell your music, then you exploiting yourself and you pimping the culture. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have a problem with if a woman had to be a prostitute to survive
To feed
and
her kids.
she told that story in her
That's
music,
reality.
I want to hear that. You know
Right.
what I'm
That's reality.
saying?
Because it could touch somebody and be like, damn, okay, I know it's wrong. I had to do this, but there's a better way.
But if you finna morph into who we see as the most popular female artist in hip hop culture now, then man, come
That's
on
so
now.
crazy,
Come on,
bro.
man.
That's
Come on.
so crazy. Like she went to a school and they wouldn't let her in because she smelled like weed. I'm like, that's the biggest problem y'all got with her, bro. You know
That's
what I'm
what,
saying?
no, that chick is a prime example. I'm saying she literally it's like she was created for trash music. Super hypersexual, get this the worst version. And then you got other women who seemingly have more taste. They'll celebrate her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
man, bro,
I
we
mean,
do too much. We do too much.
sometimes we love the worst, right? I told one of my guys because again, he's deep in the podcast culture, deep in the Kevin Samuels. And these women love them Pookies. I'm like, bro, we love them too. that we celebrate with them when they come home from the joint. Even though you ain't got to be a street cat to celebrate it. Like when you see the baller cat from the neighborhood in the club or wherever, everybody around him. Not everybody that's in the streets is around him, but people are around him. I was like, you wonder why our women love these dudes. We love them too, and I don't mean in a homosexual way. I'm saying like we are emotionally
Yeah,
and
we
mentally attached to that shit.
yeah, we
Like
bow down
that's
to it. We
right.
bow down to
I'm
it.
like we need leaders, and we got the wrong one.
We definitely have like we're not leaders collectively, and so I will agree with you once again 100% that yeah, you have somebody has to take the bulk of the blame, and I would have to blame the men in terms of like lack of leadership in the community, right, and lack of discipline, lack of structure. It just doesn't, like I said, it just doesn't absolve just how
The
critical
act,
women's role is in like having a healthy culture. You know what I'm saying? Because women can abstain just like men.
but
You know?
isn't that taught? Like, isn't that learned? Right? I mean,
Yeah,
at a
because
certain point,
I'm always ask. Yeah. My first question is like, if we talking about women, right? If we talking about their missteps or their misrepresentations of themselves, my first question is, hey, where's your daddy at, or what's your
and
relationship like with your dad, or what type of was he even healthy? You know what I mean? That
that's
is
what
my
I'm
first
saying,
question. Yeah,
right?
no, I
Because
agree. I
just
agree.
when I talk to people about shit like this, well, man, you just say, I'm like, bro, my daughter wasn't going to turn out that way. That was my goal, and my son either. My son was going to turn out to have a bunch of baby mamas and all that shit. That was not something that we deemed as acceptable,
Yeah,
right?
it's not about perfection. It's not about
No,
perfection, but I'm saying you can okay, is I can see a
shit
woman,
happens,
yeah, shit happening, right? But how does it happen over and
and
over
oh,
and over again?
man,
Like how do you have 5 kids with a bum, or how do you have 3 or 4 kids by different men and then and then not take some responsibility in that? You know what I
no,
mean?
you have to, right?
Like,
And I typically go back to, man, like what went wrong to make you feel like you needed that. Look, bro, one of my guys hit me today. He's like, man, this chick just had a baby 2 weeks ago. Now she on Facebook talking about, stepdaddies is necessary, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, God damn, he just dropped.
See that okay, that culture, that right there, that part of the culture where it's man, I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and it was just like even the construct of how normal it is for men to be expected to
Step up,
step up. Like what the like? Hold on. Like nah, that we need to really stop that shit.
bro.
Really, that's what I mean when I say men. We don't even think highly enough of ourselves because and I'm part of that because I didn't always realize that about myself or like my values. Like, nah, that we don't have to do that. You know what I mean? Like that don't mean you can't be of service to children. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right. You could
Like
be a
I
service in the
can have
community.
if my homegirl or a woman that I know have, got kids and ain't got no father figure or nothing like that. And they, what I mean, she needs some support. I could support you. That don't mean I
That's
gotta
the
be involved with you.
right. That's the right thing to do. Right.
Yeah,
You
I
can
don't
you
owe
can
you
help
that.
out.
Yeah,
Right, right.
but I can show up and show you and implement some structure and have some presence in your home. But the problem is, once I start doing that,
She gonna look for something else.
now you attracted to me, which is normal or natural. But have some discipline about yourself and respect the boundaries and me as well, even as a man.
You have
You
to,
don't you
right?
don't owe me nothing because I'm being a man in front of your children. If you owe me something, then I need to just not even play that role. You know what I'm
Right. Or
saying?
if you owe
Like
me something, it's respect. You know what I'm saying?
we don't even realize how much we practice prostitution. We don't want to acknowledge
Bro,
that.
it's so you're right, right? Like I tell people all the time, I'm not even against it. I think it need to be legalized. But that's just my thought process. Um, but we do practice that pretty regularly. If a man ain't doing this, I ain't giving him this, or if I take a chick on 3 dates, she better like, damn, bro, what happened to just be like, okay, I was having a discussion with one of my homies, and he has some valid points. He's like, bro, I don't want a female friend, right? My boys is my friends, right? I don't need a female acquaintance because at some point I'm going to play the boyfriend role. If we out and about and some shit jump off, she's gonna look at me to protect her, right? And I
But that's just being
understood,
a man, though. That's just
right?
being a
I
man,
I
though.
understand, but but at some point, right? The lines get blurred. You're expected to carry the male role pretty much at all times,
Yeah,
right?
why wouldn't you be expected to be a
But
man at
but
all
what I'm
times?
saying, what he was saying is, listen, we go out. She ain't paying. Right? He said, I don't want to do that. I have a female acquaintances. This is his words. my guys, girls, and wives and shit, like, we cool. He said, but I'm not. There's no. He said the value ain't there. It's too risky for me. If I'm with my boys and some shit jump off, we handle ourselves. And I kind of understood to a certain extent.
But what's the
Right.
point? What's his point with that? What is he trying?
His point was, so this is what it was about, right? It was a chick he liked, right? And
okay, so that's
hold on though, but she was, and I told her, I said, bro, you gotta respect this, right? He liked her, she liked him, but she was like, you belong to another woman. He's still married. She left him and all that other shit, but she's like, you belong to another woman. We just friends. He's like, what the fuck? I want to be friends, for with you because it's something else there, and I respect that. But we had the conversation in general, because you spend enough time with somebody, like most of us don't have that discipline, right? That it takes to stop that feeling. Because I don't care who you are, you spend enough time with somebody, somebody's gonna get feeling.
yeah. It's not about that's natural, right? That's why I
Right.
said it's about the
But
discipline.
it's the discipline, but
That ain't her fault.
it ain't her fault or his fault, right? He might not have
No,
to be.
I'm saying it's his fault. If I'm, it's one thing to take somebody out and be, I'm a man, you a woman. I'm gonna take you. I'm gonna be a man to you. You know what I mean? And you a nice looking chick. You know what I mean? I dig you to a certain extent, but it's my job to say, like I'm not going to take you out repeatedly or consistently. You know what I mean? Like every now and again. You know what I'm saying?
So you stopping it, right?
Come on,
That's
man.
the
Like,
role.
come on.
Okay.
If I take her out 3 times, that's on me. She ain't make me take her out.
No, she didn't.
And
No,
then,
she didn't.
and if the deal was, if the expectation is, if I take you out 3 or 4 times, then you owe me this.
Now
Well,
you should
really,
know nobody shit.
you playing yourself, G. Because
Right.
if you want some pussy, all you got to do is just go. You can go anywhere and pay for some pussy.
You ain't gotta pay. Right? You just gotta go. You know what
I'm saying, but if you
Right,
want,
right.
if that's what you want, I'm saying this, it can be it's very clear what the exchange is. You give me this, you spend. If you're saying me taking you, because what you're saying, it ain't about you taking her out. It's about you spending your money on her and in your time. So I'm saying you can cut through all that and say, I got this amount of money, and it's limited. You ain't got to put that much time in it. Here's the exchange. Boom, boom. And that's gonna remove the opportunity for feelings to get involved. If that's what we talking about,
Right.
it's really
Right.
simple to me.
All right.
So
I can respect that.
I mean,
But
we already do it anyway, right? We already then reduced ourselves to, what we bringing to the table.
so let me ask you this question, right? Just from a friendship perspective. Can your girl go out with her male friend?
Absolutely not. What male friends?
Wait, I thought that was cool. They can't have male friends.
Who? I didn't say that.
You said what male friend, right? Like
I wasn't speaking for me. I'm saying
I'm asking that question, right? Like if your girl was like, "Hey, listen, my old friend is in town. We finna go." He's a friend.
That don't exist with me.
Okay, so that's what I was getting at, bro. Like it because you know 99% chance the man is trying to do something.
I
more
was
than friend.
now this is on me. I was assuming that these were 2 single people.
Right. No, okay, yeah, they are single people, right?
Right.
But I'm just
yeah.
saying
You saying
it don't apply.
nah.
Friends are friends. So you can't, because I'm with you on your thought process. I ain't disagreeing with you.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to make. I'm trying to see where you
question?
stand. So the friendship is a friendship unless they have somebody.
Say that again.
They can have a friendship unless they in a relationship. Then that's that.
People can do what they want. I'm just saying, me
But you accept
personally,
it. Okay.
absolutely
Right.
not. Like,
I'm with you. I'm with
I
you.
gotta ask the logical question. Men. This is where, and it could be a slight double standard, right? But here's where my question is going to be: that you have me here because I'm a what? I'm a provider, right?
Right.
So that's what so then my question is, what is this male friend providing for you that I can't provide? I'm gonna challenge you on that.
So what is okay? If you're single, she's single, right? Take
Uh-huh.
away from your girl, she's single. So he has to provide. He has to play that role as the. So are we providers for all women?
I'm saying, yeah, I'm saying naturally we are. So
Okay.
if I'm whether I'm courting you or if I'm saying, hey, let's do, if we can be coworkers. Hey, let's do lunch. Right there, when you with me, I'm still gonna be a man. If you with me, I'm taking responsibility for you. We go out. You know what I mean? Like I got it. I'll take care of it. You know
But
what I'm saying?
that's assuming both people single, right? So on the flip side, you're not
No.
doing lunch with a chick if you got a girl.
Oh no, no, I didn't had lunch with.
Okay.
with coworkers before. You know what I'm saying? Like on some, we got, we just on lunch. Let's go over here real quick. You know what I mean?
Okay,
And
okay.
so I mean that, yeah. And to
So
be
it's a
honest,
double standard, like a
no,
motherfucker.
no. If my look, we were talking about that's not my friend. This is my coworker.
Oh, right, right. That's
You know
not a
what I'm
friend.
saying?
You okay?
It's not my friend.
Right. Okay.
You know what I
I
mean?
didn't
So
word it
I'm not,
properly.
I definitely draw my lines in terms of responsibility, meaning like if we, that's it. If we go slide over here to lunch, it's lunch. Like during work hours, it ain't gonna be no,
Right.
hey,
The business shit is the
what you
business shit.
doing when
Right.
you get off work? Like, nah,
Nah.
but it ain't none of that. You know what I'm saying? But in the context of, you know, just relationships, I'm saying that you can have peers, right? If my lady, her and some coworkers, because I'm not going to lunch with this coworker because it's a woman. It could
You going
be,
lunch because it's a coworker.
yeah, because it's a coworker.
Right.
So I'm saying I personally just don't trust men in that way. You know what I
Hey,
mean?
I ain't mad at you, fam. I don't either
So
because I know the game.
and I can when I say it's a double standard, it's not a warped double standard. It to me is legit because I'm a man. I can control the narrative, right? So, but you going out with him, man, like if we go out, if I take my coworker to lunch or whatnot, if she just happen to try to cross some boundaries, I can control. I can stop that at the door.
Right. I
You
believe her
can't
ass
do
where she
that with a
stay
man.
at.
You can't do that with a man if
Because
he so
you
choose to. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right. Because he could. Yeah, he got the physical advantage on that.
Yeah, that I mean, I'm saying that double
Okay.
standard is just
I
because
can
this is a
I can work
natural
with that.
thing. But
Work with that. My guy was
but
like, no.
yeah, like nah, we. But I'm saying if I ain't got nobody and you ain't got nobody, I'm still the man, right?
Right, right.
So if I need to make it clear, like, hey, this is what my intention is with you.
Yeah.
Because we gonna have a verbal contract. You know what I'm saying? Like
I just look at it like, in my opinion, a woman has to want something because it's too risky, right? Like you said, I mean, it could go south. Like just I don't know. I'm fearful of women. I'm gonna say women going out with dudes 'cause I know it don't dudes putting shit. Now this is very small percentage, not everybody, but I still pay attention and I'm still aware. Like dudes be putting shit in chicks' drinks, dudes be taking it fat. Like it's I don't see the
that's what I'm saying.
it's
Yeah.
not I don't see I don't know. It's just to me, it's just too much of a risk. I would I don't know. I don't know. I was with my guy because typically if a dude's going out with a woman, there's typically an ulterior motive. We know how men. That's why we don't want our woman going out with another man. Let's keep it real, right? We know in the back of his head he probably on some other shit.
But I'm saying I ain't worried about it though. You know, I'm like I don't equate what I do for somebody as an agreement for some like sex is different. It's a whole
But
different world.
do you not think a woman looks at it like, man, this dude's doing? Because keep in mind, most motherfuckers ain't even that nice, right? They ain't taking
Right.
chicks out, right? So when
Yeah,
you put that effort in to be a man, it's definitely sending a signal because most of the dudes
it
fuck
shouldn't
with her.
though.
But
Right.
that's where we at though.
That's but that's not my problem. See, I've had my courtesy be misread and I've had to
100%.
reestablish it, right? You know what I mean? And these is women that's married. You know what I
But
mean? But
once it's misread though, to me that's a wrap. I can't. I don't trust you no more as a woman, right? Like I don't trust you because I know where you at.
not me because I understand women. You know what I mean? Like
I do too.
and
That's why I don't trust you.
I know me is what I'm saying. I know me. Like I consider myself to be I know I'm an attractive person. It has nothing to do with looks. It's just because of who I really
Right.
genuinely am as a man. So
Right.
I can understand you being attracted to that. It's my job as a man to reestablish the boundaries. You know what I mean? So that's why just like I blame men first for putting a seed, dropping a seed or planting a seed without commitment, right? Because women are emotional and women are going to naturally let their guards down when they become comfortable with you because they expect you to protect them. And that means that if you lead us into a situation, I expect you to see that whole situation through, right? Even
Right.
though
Right.
what her job is to just not even get involved with the wrong type of man. But it's my job as a man to like really control the narrative. So that's why I blame men first for that, for the condition that we are in as a culture.
No doubt. I'm with you on that one. I'm with you on that one. I look at the situation a little bit different, and I say to myself, once a woman shows her interest, and again, my situation is different, right? I've been in a relationship forever, so I view shit different. Once a woman shows her interest, I no longer there's no value for me with you because I know you have an ulterior motive, And most women, if you say no to them, that just excites them more. Right? I'm just gonna keep it real
Yeah,
because most
but
men don't say
you
no.
ain't gonna be able to get around that. See, just the 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 women that ain't saying nothing to you, it's more women that's not saying
Oh,
nothing to
100%.
you that have ulterior motives. You know
Right, but
what I
I
mean?
ain't worried about them.
Yeah, but
Right,
I could
I ain't worried about none of
see
them. Let
me.
me
I
clarify.
appreciate it more. I'll be honest with you. I when a woman is upfront about, you know what I mean, I appreciate it. I respected you that you clued me in on it because you could have just went up, been bogus, and just like really backdoored the situation. Had a, you know what I mean, like had a. So that's just me. I re,
Don't get me
it,
wrong; it makes a man feel good,
no, I'm just
right?
no not appreciating that way. I'm saying I respect it. Like I've had women that really, you know, that the understanding was that I'm just a support to them, tell me about their fantasizing with me. You know what I mean? I
Right.
appreciated them telling me that
See,
because
my
I
situation is different because if somebody say something to me, I'm like, you disrespecting my wife, right? So that's how I look at the situation, and maybe that's why I'm my situation because everybody who know me know my situation. Right? You know I'm married, you know I got a woman, you know all that shit. So
yeah, but you just said it's natural, right? It's
yeah,
natural for
yeah,
people to
but
be
you
attracted to,
sometimes you sit on some shit, right?
huh?
You don't gotta say it just because it's true, right? Sometimes you hold on to some shit, but
Yeah,
this is also why I
sometimes
prefer.
you do, but I'm saying if okay, if she
What is
was
the purpose of saying it, right? Because if
because
I
you
hear that, I'm assuming
because
somebody want to act on it.
because you respect me. That's why.
We look at it different then.
You
I
know
feel
what I
like you
mean?
want to act on it. That's why you telling me. There's no
You're not
value.
going to be. I'd rather. Here's my thing. I would rather know than you be around me and I never knew. But this whole time you were, you know, you just had these thoughts. You can't control. Long as you
But
ain't.
that's
Long as you ain't.
control, right? Control is keeping the thoughts to yourself, right? That's control from a at least that's how I'm looking at you keeping your thoughts to yourself. I'm sure you done been around a chick that you like, man, I'll probably tear this shit up. But it ain't that's not the right thing to say, right? Or make that move. Obviously, you wouldn't say it that way, right? But
If I'm going to continue to be around her, but if I find myself in that space, it's like that. I reckon as a man is disciplined, I recognize it as a natural urge. It don't mean nothing. I already
right,
went through
right.
that, right? So I'm like, I'm a man. You know what I mean? I leave it at that. I don't, but and I'm gonna make sure I don't interact with this person like all the time. You know what I mean?
Keep
It's
yourself
just
out of the
it
situation.
ain't no
Right.
different. But if I'm like, if I let myself get to a place to where I'm developing feelings for you, then I'm tripping. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's
You fell off your game.
yeah, I'm tripping. Like that ain't. But I don't have a problem with somebody being honest with me. I like to know, long as you behave the way you're supposed to behave. And I'm gonna make once you tell me that, yeah, I'm gonna be the person that it's probably a good idea for us to be around each other that often. You know what I mean? But you know,
Yeah.
I ain't really experienced it that much, but I know that I've had them experiences where I'm supposed to be friends with this person. We cool for years, and the whole time you was liking me. Come to find out, I had a problem with that. You know what I mean? Like I had a huge problem with that.
I mean, they was respecting the relationship.
What? Okay, well, how I find out then?
At some point, they stopped respecting it. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. It's inevitable, is what I'm saying. When it comes to women, like you, I know women in their truest form. At some point, they ain't gonna be able to. It's just gonna
Right. You
come
spend
out.
enough time. Right.
That's what I. But
Yeah.
had she told me that from the jump, I would have monitored that, like how I interact with this person. You know what I'm saying? If I'm thinking we can, it's like, hey, let's go to the park 'cause everybody over there, whatever. All right, I'm about to come scoop you, or we about to go hang out. I'm hanging out with you. I'm thinking we hanging out as friends, but you really like me. If I know you like me, then that hey, every now and again, or who all with you? If it's a group of us,
Right. We
I'll
can kick
rock.
it together.
I'll
Right.
rock. You know
Ain't
what
no
I'm
solo
saying?
dolo shit.
So
Right. Right.
now, and you know what's crazy? When I look back on it, it was other people telling me like, man, y'all must like, you know what I mean? I'm getting offended because I'm like, man, you tripping. This my motherfucking homegirl. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
I just feel like in the majority, not any, because there's always exceptions. In the majority of opposite sex friendships, one person want to be more than friends. Maybe not in the beginning, but it's going to develop if you spend too much time. Right.
yeah. Now, overall, I don't. I've never really believed in opposite sex friendships.
So
Me
so
overall, I haven't.
so let's keep going down that path, right? Because I think of it like if a woman has male friends, she's single, she gets in a relationship, does she rightfully cut off the male friends? Like to me, she would have to, right? But some people say that's insecure. Some people say that's
Why?
strange friends or friend. Like to me, I guess my definition of a friend is different. I will take a trip with my friend, right? Like we can split a hotel room, 2 beds type shit, right? I don't give. It's I'm comfortable
Female,
in my
female too.
that's friend period, right?
Okay.
And that's why I'm not doing the female shit, right?
Right.
I can take a trip with my boy and be like, listen, bro, if we gonna it's a hotel, a residence in with 2 bedrooms. You get your own bedroom, I got my own, right? That's friendship. Don't matter if we, I got a wife. It's my guy. Ain't no funny shit. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But when it comes to the opposite sex, ain't nobody subscribing to me and this opposite sex person going on this trip. We're gonna share a room, but it's got 2 different bedrooms. Ain't nobody going for that shit, right?
Right. Yeah. But you know why though?
Because
Really,
we
is
know.
because it's a cultural thing though. You know what I mean? In other cultures, they move different. I ain't cheating is a thing, right?
Everywhere.
I'm just saying that
But no, you're right.
I've watched different cultures how they navigate relationships. And here's the thing,
But they're not hypersexual like us.
right? That's what I'm saying. I mean, and they it's just they've been raised in a culture that really understands the difference between friendships, you know what I mean, and intimate relationships, right? It's a
Yeah.
real thing to them. Of course, people naturally they can be friends for a long time and then naturally, develop
Develop. Right.
into something else. But I'm saying we don't do that. It's all the priority is who likes who. Like think
That's
back
our
as a
culture,
kid,
bro. Right. Right.
like we didn't really now. You know what's interesting? When I was growing up, like we really did hang out as friends with our female peers, right?
Yeah.
But it just always led to, who liked who,
Every
right?
single fucking time, bro.
And
I
we but
remember
we had our
losing
best
friends
times.
over that bullshit.
Yeah, we had our best times when we were just hanging out all as friends. You know what I mean? But then when people start getting into boyfriend girlfriend shit, and you
Yeah,
and the
but we were young and that wasn't a thing, right? That you start liking the chick because you was around her, right? Like I mean, it's what it
yeah,
is. You at a certain point in your life, you start to develop attraction to, I would say, the opposite sex. Assuming you're a straight person, you start developing attraction to the opposite sex. One day it just happens, right? I mean, that's just what it is. And but once it starts, it's a wrap. And for us though, I think, and I say us, I'm talking Americans, right? I mean, everything is. It's crazy how we sexualize shit and how we make a big deal out of shit. Like
everything. We
you know,
sexualize father-daughter relationships.
I mean, everything, bro. It's crazy,
It's the
and we
most
we make
perverted shit ever.
we make no doubt we blow everything out of proportion, right? You know what I'm saying? Young people drink. I remember, bro. I was in motherfucking France. I'm in a bar, and I'm like, bro, these are kids in here, right? I'm like, what the fuck? 16 years old is the drinking age. Right? These motherfuckers in here doing homework, but they don't have a drinking problem, right? Because they don't pretend it's this horrible shit that people shouldn't do. You know what I'm saying? Like it's how the culture looks at shit, how the country or whatever looks at shit. We make shit bad. Right? You tell people
Yeah.
enough shit's bad, we're gonna make it bad, no matter what it is.
Yeah, we are just not responsible people.
No doubt.
That's really what it comes down to. But I think that the root of it is the root of it is lack of leadership within the community. You
No
know what I
doubt.
mean? Like if you had, like I've always said that we should be focused on nurturing, showing our little boys and our little girls how to be friends from little. Like, you know what I mean? When they little, showing them how to be friends with each other and really monitor that and nurture that first. That's how we can start the process of really healing the culture because they're growing up under perversion.
Bro, I remember hearing when I was younger, was one of my buddy's little sister, the adults was like, oh, y'all gonna be married when y'all grow up. Like, why? I don't even know why motherfuckers would start that shit. I'm talking kids
You
shit.
ain't supposed to tell the kids that, right? It's supposed to
Right.
be if a family now this I do believe now I wish we did know how to
Arranged marriage type
arrange.
shit.
Yeah, I wish we but that's not the kids don't ain't supposed to know that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like at a certain point, you're just showing them how to be friends. You showing them how to learn, you know what I mean, how to interact appropriately, the roles with boys and girls as they go into being young men and young women, their roles with each other, how they're supposed to, because I want my daughter to have healthy male friends because if I want to know who they are so they can know who I am, and I'm gonna make sure they understand what my expectation is if they're gonna be hanging out with my daughter. You know
That-
what I mean?
That's the value
If
of a father,
and if
bro.
one of y'all like her, then you have enough balls to come tell me. If you can't tell me, then you know what I mean. Then we ain't nothing happening because I can't respect it. You know what I'm
I mean,
saying?
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. I think, but that's the fatherly role, right? But without that, there's nobody to go talk to, right? There's nobody for that young man to come say, hey, I like, because he ain't gonna tell her mama, right? Let's keep it real, right?
Yeah,
There's no value in that.
yeah.
And I don't know, bro. It's just that's a wild one.
That's why once again I'm in total agreement that it's gonna come back to who the men are in that's involved in the culture, because that's really where the problems, because you need that. You know what I mean? Like there's we know that women naturally have healthy women have a natural naivety. You know what I mean? Like they just
Right,
want
right,
everything to be okay. Healthy men know that hey, everything ain't okay until we make it okay. So it's a balance in that.
right.
You know what I mean? Just like it's expectation from my daughter. If I like, hey, now you don't, I bet not ever catch you arguing with no male
Man,
ever.
that's a whole. Let me pull up some information. Give me a take about a 2 minute break. Let me pull up some information because you said something that I wanna fuck with. Give me about a not even 2 minutes. Give me about a
Yeah, do
minute.
your thing. Do your thing.
I'm gonna blank the screen for a second, but your audio's still on, so speak wisely.
Yeah, I'm
All right, so I wanted to hit my homie up before I read this shit, right? And just make sure it was cool, right? So I wanted to shift a little bit to the submission shit, right? That we kind of chatted about a little bit earlier. Um, so my homie hit me up earlier, and I'm just gonna kind of skim through the chat here. She said, "Hey, I need to know your logic on something. There's no wrong answer." She said, if I can get your wife's perspective, that'd be dope too. She said, "But what's y'all's perspective or idea on a man leading the family and a woman serving and submitting? I need to know like emotional, physical, and in the home. Just literally trying to learn and better myself." She said, "So I'm curious because the way you guys have done your marriage, etc., is exactly what I strive for, to be super submissive and traditional, but only if a man can lead properly." Um, so that, I'm gonna give you my response to her. You tell me what your thoughts are. I told her, I said, a man leading and his woman submitting means that she has established enough faith and trust in him to allow him to guide the family. This means that through his past actions, his current behavior, and his future potential, she trusts him to make decisions that has the family's best interest at heart. It means that he has earned her trust with the things that matter most to her life, her health, her well being, her children. I
hmm
said, you don't just get it because you have a penis, right? It has to
hmm
be earned. It isn't blind following either. I can't go home and be like, babe, I'm about to quit my job and be a rapper. You know what I'm saying? That shit won't fly,
hmm
right? So she responded back. So a man who hasn't led in a year but is now ready to start has to be patient and understanding that I had to lead all year. So now it's gonna be a transition for me to trust him and let go because I have no choice but to lead the first year, right? Um, she said she had to furnish the home, put everything in it, keep him comfortable, keep everybody alive. She said he didn't spend a penny lifting a finger, he didn't clean the house, none of that shit, right? So at that point, my situation changed. But I wanted to get your input on that, right? Because like for me, I'm like, hold on, I misunderstood your question. I thought you were trying to learn to be. You telling me you got a
Right.
man that you did all.
Right.
There is no submission for him. You don't have respect for him. You've had to do the manly shit,
Yeah.
right? I understand people fall on
Yeah.
hard times. You never know when life is gonna take you out the
Nah.
game. But he's
Nah.
just chilling.
Yeah, and I mean that's I have to put the responsibility of that on her, because like you said, if that the submission comes from that man establishing himself as somebody who's qualified to be that,
Right,
and
right.
it's no way that would be my question. What was it that attracted you to him? What made you? What even motivated you to furnish the home and to do all that? What did he do that convinced you that he was worth? I mean,
I'm I'm I'm
how
a,
that happened?
I'm gonna tell you, she had to do that shit because she had kids. Right? She was gonna furnish a home. Why is he there is a better
Right,
question.
right.
Right?
So
And that's gonna be my question to her.
okay, so that's why I'm saying see, a lot of times women leave out the context of the
100%.
situation, right? And because you're saying that you had to do all these things as if you did them for just you and him, but you
But I
did
know
them
the
because
situation.
you had to do that anyway. You were going to do it, so you can't leverage that. The only question is, why did you allow a man to be present in front of your kids that did not
Man,
provide,
because
did not
that's
take initiative, did not bring anything? You know what I'm saying?
right,
Like,
and you got sons. Right? That
and yeah,
shows the
that
wrong shit.
right. So you don't qualify for what you saying you want, honestly, because you lack I don't know what it is, right? But on the surface, it looks like you lack the self-worth, the idea of your own self-value to even draw your boundaries for, or even having a standard for a quality man, because there is no way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm with you on that one, bro. Like I was listening, like, okay, she trying to learn to better herself, this, that, and the other. But once you told me this motherfucker's already in the life for a year, you got to
so guess
replace him.
what?
You got
Because
to
guess
replace him and
what?
start over.
Guess what? When you get rid of him, and then somebody, a decent man, a real man come about, and he asks what your story is, and you tell him
You
that
better leave that part out.
you allow you, because I'm gonna say,
But
hey,
then you lying, right?
what, like, but you won't, but you got this, because I know I'm gonna be dealing with that energy, right?
Right,
With all these expectations that you have of me, you really you mad because you didn't have of him.
right, right.
I'm cool on that. I'm just be honest. You know what I mean?
No
So,
doubt.
but and you can leave it out, but is somebody going? I mean,
Life
we've
gonna
dealt
happen.
with somebody. Yeah, I mean, and it's
Right.
gonna
South
be
Bend too small,
right.
especially if you're in the same. You know what I'm saying? You in the
Like,
city. South Bend too
because
small.
that's what we gonna match. Like, who you used to deal with, who you got a baby by already.
Right.
Like, like you said, shit happens, right? But if you got two,
Two shits.
three,
Right, or multiple. Not in her defense, they twins, right? So that was a one and
okay,
you know
okay,
what I'm
yeah,
saying? But
yeah. But I'm saying,
but
okay,
nonetheless,
but
you
that's a
got
different story, right? That man is not their daddy, right?
right, right. Man, there's
Okay,
some other shit I
so
want to add to that, but if I drop it, it's gonna identify it. So I ain't
yeah,
gonna
no,
do
it's
that.
all. But that's, I
Right.
mean, but you know what? This shit is okay because we gotta have these uncomfortable conversations. I mean,
100%.
I'm talking from experience, right? You know what I mean? Like, I've made poor decisions. I made poor decisions when procreating. You know what I mean? My first two children was just the wrong decision. It just was. You know what I mean? It was me being irresponsible, me not being disciplined, me not making decisions with the guidance that I required, me just literally picking, just not being accountable. That's really
Right,
what it.
right.
And I deal with the consequences to this day. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
watching that over a period of time has helped me understand just how important it is to make the right decision the first time, especially when you do have the ability to do it. I had the ability to do it. I just didn't, it wasn't likely based on my upbringing. You know what I
Right.
mean? But I
Right.
had the ability to do it because I don't have 100 kids running around here, right?
Right. At
So
some point, motherfuckers realize, all right, this is not smart.
yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like, but that don't change the fact that I made the wrong decision. And
Because
that's
we all make
okay.
stupid ass
And it's
decisions,
okay.
right?
Like, if a person talk about it, anybody can, I just rather tell my own story. But if a
Right.
person talk about it, if you say something that applies to me, if it's the truth, it's the truth.
That's one thing we struggle with. When a motherfucker say something that apply to people, they immediately get mad. Oh, you talking about me? No, the shit just happens to
Yeah.
be true about you. It was true before I said it. Right?
Yeah, right.
I'm guilty of
Yeah.
catching hell from people because I post. Oh, you just think you better. I never said that. You must think that. Right? I just said the situation. Right? And I would always counter that. Like if a motherfucker says something about a short, bald, fat motherfucker, that's me. Right? Like I
It,
can't be
it, it
mad at
shouldn't
you.
it shouldn't bother if
It's
it
the
ain't.
truth.
So that was the issue when we were having a discussion about should two unhappy people stay together for the kids. That's why people were up in arms about it, because it applied to them. They felt
Yep.
like it was an attack on them, and it's like, whether you obviously didn't make that decision, so why do you care? that I'm saying that this my opinion is that y'all should. You got your reason why you didn't, and
Right.
that's that. You
I
know what I
think we
mean?
don't realize when we have children, it's not about us anymore, right? Because they came into the world because we decided to bring them, one way or another, incidental, accidental, right, intentional, whatever the reason, they are here now, right? And for people to say, "Well, I deserve to be happy," your deserving to be happy was before you had kids. It's blessing if you can be happy
But
while you got kids.
who deserves to be? Where does that come from? I
I think,
deserve to be
listen,
happy.
you deserve to be happy. I think everybody does. Not necessarily with somebody else. You control to a certain extent your happiness. Somebody else can fuck it up.
But I think when people say they deserve to be happy, they're saying that they deserve someone to make them happy. They deserve someone who's responsible for their happiness. And that, to me, I disagree with totally. Nobody's responsible for making you happy. Nobody's responsible for maintaining your happiness. That's you.
Okay.
You're responsible for that. So it's like to say I deserve to be happy. Like, what are you talking about? Just be happy then. If you do, you want
Right,
to be
right,
happy. Be
right.
happy. You know what I
Nobody's
mean?
stopping you.
Right. But I'm saying if you saying that this person, this one person makes you unhappy, then what you are saying that you chose to give them power over you.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Motherfuckers can make you unhappy. It's just how long you allow
How?
yourself
How
to
can
stay.
a person can't make me unhappy? You can
Bro,
I got my lines that I draw, right? I cannot be and I don't depend on people for my happiness. So I'm saying you can't
hypothetically speaking, right? Your girl, you find out your girl cheating. Now, you still happy? I'm gonna be pissed off. Right?
no,
My
man.
happiness is taking a temporary pause.
No, I'm happy. I'm still happy. I'm not okay with with that disrespect.
Okay, so I'm talking from an emotion. Okay, so overall happy with life
You can not like something, and that can be something can be a bad thing and make you feel a way about it. But I'm saying my happiness,
is your
like
happy. I'm,
I
I'm
can
with you.
be, you can be like, okay, if everything is going good in my life, I'm healthy, all is well, right? I'm successful. I'm a happy person. I have everything to be happy about, and I lose a parent, right? I'm going to be hurt about that,
Okay,
but I'm still happy. And
you a
if I'm
happy person.
happy and I'm healthy, I'm going to be able to find just beauty, and I'm a probably focus on the value that the experiences that I had with
Celebrate
this.
the life.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or I'm a person that's unhappy, and I'm just going to use that as a reason to be low. But I'm low
You
anyway.
was low before that, right?
You know
That's
what
just
I'm
yeah. I'm
saying?
with you. I like how
That-
you put it. That's
so
one of the things I tell you, bro. Where I like fucking with you is you give me different perspective. Because I like how you worded that. But you're right. People are unhappy. I remember. I don't know, bro. I'll be whistling my ass off. That's what I do. I'll be walking around just happy than a motherfucker for no, because I have no reason to be unhappy, right? I've had people ask me, man, why are you so happy? I'm like, why are you so not happy? Like, why in the fuck would you ask me why I'm happy instead of asking somebody else why you
you
not?
see what I'm saying? You see what
So,
I'm
so I'm
saying?
with you. I'm with you,
And
right?
you did, but you like shit. Like, what's your response?
Why are you on it? Why you
What?
not? Why are
Right.
you not happy,
Right, because you understand your power. I choose to be happy. I choose to
man?
focus on things in the positive as a positive. Like we all know positive and negative exist. You're not going to be as high as you want to be every day. That's not what
That's
happiness is
reality.
about, right? But I'm saying you can choose to be. I'm going to be happy, meaning that when I really happiness is really what it comes down to is self awareness
That's it.
and knowing yourself, right? So if you know the things that make you happy or that make you feel good, whether it's exercise, whether it's traveling, whether it's solitude or whatever, clean can be a clean. It can be cleanliness, right?
Right.
That's your happiness. You do those things, and you should be able to know the things that you don't like, that don't make you happy. Then you stay away from those things.
100%.
Everything else is just going to be shit that happens. That's life, right?
No doubt.
So
No doubt.
if you practice emotional intelligence, then you're going to know how to navigate those situations. And everything has a beginning and an end. It don't go on forever.
Right.
So
True
what I
that.
mean,
True that.
nobody said you got to be just super uh, uh, glittery every day. That don't mean
Right,
you're not a
that's
happy
unrealistic.
person,
Right.
right? You know what I mean?
Right.
But you still be you a happy person. Like I'm.
You know what? You said something about like when somebody passes. When my father passed, I was 21. That for me was my wake up call in life.
Mhm.
Right? I'm like, I'm gonna use this as even though my beliefs are different. I'm like, this is my reason to show my father that I can be a good man.
100.
Right? Like that was my life changing. It wasn't. Don't get me wrong. I was sad. Right?
Yeah.
But that was what I used to say. Okay, it's time for you to get your shit together. right? And it was, it was a fucked up time, but it was a time where I'm like, man, I owe my father. He's done everything that I needed him to do. There was a lot more shit I would have wanted him to do. Don't get me
Mhm.
wrong,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he's done everything I needed him to do to get me to this point. Hey, hold on one second. Let me about my wife call. I want to make sure ain't nothing going on with my
Okay,
grandson.
okay.
Hey, as much as I hate to do this, I need to cut and run. Everything's okay. I just gotta take care of something. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the time. My apologies. I'm gonna make sure the next one I got more time. But something came up with my grand. I need to go get something for him.
100,
Right.
100. No
So
doubt.
so let's continue this. We'll do a Wednesday. We'll do a Sunday. And I appreciate you, bro. My bad on the cut short. Some shit
Oh,
came
it's
up.
all good.
I need to take care of.
No, no, 100,
All
100.
right. Peace
Do your
out, fam.
thing. Take
Yep.
care.